The FA Youth Cup is the number one football tournament for footballers aged between 15 and 18 in England. Founded in 1952, it is widely regarded as the most illustrious youth team competition in the country, with the three most frequent winners being Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal. Stars and winners of the FA Youth Cup from yesteryear include the likes of George Best, Frank Lampard and Michael Owen, and the Manchester United team, that won the 1992 FA Youth Cup final against Crystal Palace alone, included the likes of Gary Neville, David Beckham, Nicky Butt, Keith Gillespie, Robbie Savage and Ryan Giggs. It would be reasonable then to describe the FA Youth Cup as a fine testing ground for potential future stars of the sport. You would also think that pretty decent records would be kept with regards to the game's goals, who scored when, where and the like, wouldn't you? Well, you'd be wrong. FA Youth Cup records appear to be pretty useless, but I think I've managed to find the top scorers in each of the last 7 seasons in order to make a decent little video for you all. To be clear, I won't be including this season's FA Youth Cup since it has been suspended, like most football around England. Here are the last 7 FA Youth Cup top scorers. Where are they now? Paul Glatzel, Liverpool. Liverpool won the FA Youth Cup for the first time in more than a decade in 2019, beating Manchester City 5-3 in a penalty shootout in the final. It was a former Man City trainee in Bobby Duncan, who has since left Liverpool for Fiorentina, who scored the Reds' only goal in the final, but the tournament's overall top scorer was Paul Glatzel. The 19-year-old, who likes to operate as a deep lying forward, scored 8 goals in just 6 games throughout the competition, as well as scoring the winning penalty in the shootout against Manchester City. He is still with Liverpool, yet to make his first team debut, and he unfortunately suffered a nasty ACL injury this season. Calum Hudson-Odoi, Chelsea. Chelsea absolutely dominated the FA Youth Cup during the 2010s, so it comes as little surprise that there are plenty of former Chelsea youth team players in this 7. The first is Calum Hudson-Odoi, who scored more than twice as many goals as any other player in the 2017-18 FA Youth Cup. The Blues wonder kid, then aged just 17, scored 10 goals in 7 games, including 2 in the second leg of the final against Arsenal at the Emirates. Hudson-Odoi started in that game alongside the likes of Reece James and Billy Gilmore, and all 3 are now firmly part of Frank Lampard's plans in the Chelsea first team. Having been persuaded against making a move to Bayern Munich, Hudson-Odoi penned a lucrative new deal at Stamford Bridge, but has suffered a couple of notable injury setbacks. He's an exceptionally gifted footballer though, and he's now a full England international, as well as a Chelsea first team player at the age of 19. Lucas Mecha, Middlesbrough. It was a tie between 2 players for the 2016-17 FA Youth Cup Golden Boot, and since they both played the same number of games and no assist stats are available for the competition, I will have to include both as a tie. Lucas Mecha is one of 2, having scored 8 goals in 6 games for Man City, as they reached a 3rd consecutive FA Youth Cup final. Unfortunately for Mecha and the rest of the Man City squad, which include the likes of Brahim Diaz, Phil Foden and Jadon Sancho, they couldn't come with the goods in the final against Chelsea. A quick and sharp-eyed striker, Mecha was born in Germany and he recently switched from representing England's under-21s to Germany's under-21s. He spent last season on loan at Preston, the first half of this season on loan at Wolfsburg, and the second half, including right now, at Middlesbrough. Ike Ugbo, Roda. Tied with Lucas Mecha on 8 goals in 6 games during the 2016-17 FA Youth Cup, Ike Ugbo was the only player to score in both legs of the 2-legged final. His goal cancelled out Phil Foden's strike at the Man City Academy Stadium, and he scored 1 of 5 as Chelsea romped to victory by 5-1 at Stamford Bridge. The Lewisham-born striker has since had 4 different loan moves, with stints at Barnsley, MK Dons and Scunthorpe United. He's currently on loan with Roda in the second tier of Dutch football, where he has scored 13 goals in 29 games. Aged 21, Ugbo's recent deal at the Bridge runs until 2021, but it seems unlikely that he will break into the first team anytime soon. Tammy Abraham, Chelsea. A teammate of Calum Hudson-Odoi's in the Chelsea first team, Tammy Abraham starred in 2 of Chelsea's 5 consecutive FA Youth Cup wins between 2014 and 2018. He was the top scorer of the most recent of those 2, the 2015-16 FA Youth Cup, in which he scored 7 goals, including 1 in the second leg of the final as Chelsea once again beat Man City. The 6'3" striker was a superstar at youth level, and the following season he bagged 26 goals as a teenager on loan at Bristol City. A less successful loan move to Swansea City followed, but Abraham was prolific in the Championship once again, last season on loan at Aston Villa. This season, he has been Frank Lampard's first-choice centre-forward when fit, scoring 15 goals in all competitions and breaking into Gareth Southgate's England squad. Dominic Solanki, Bournemouth. The top two scorers in the 2014-15 FA Youth Cup were both Chelsea players, namely Dominic Solanki and Tammy Abraham, and Solanki edged the contest with 10 goals across all of the Blues games. Solanki is among the most prolific juniors in the history of English youth ranks, and he won his first senior cap in 2017. Unlike Abraham though, he hasn't been able to transform goals at youth level into goals in the senior game. Solanki left Chelsea in a move to Liverpool in 2017 after just one first-team appearance at Stamford Bridge, but he only scored once in 27 appearances during the 2017-18 campaign at Anfield. The Reds turned a quick profit on the 22-year-old when Eddie Howe took him to Bournemouth for £19 million, and so far, the move hasn't worked out. A big, powerful athlete with a good touch, there is undoubtedly a player in there, but so far, he's only scored 1 in 37 appearances for the Cherries, with the transfer having a definite Jordan Ibe feel to it. Dominic Solanki. Bournemouth. Now, I haven't poorly edited this video like I so often do. Dominic Solanki was the top scorer in both the 2013-14 and 2014-15 FA Youth Cup campaigns. 8 goals was enough to see him take the crown in 2013-14 when he scored an injury time winner in the second leg of the final as Chelsea edged out Fulham 7-6 on aggregate. To clarify, in the 25 seconds that have passed since I last talked about him, Solanki hasn't left Bournemouth. That's it for today's 7. Thanks for watching, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and obviously make sure you're subscribed to HITC Sevens. Also, if you're watching on mobile, just try tapping your screen now. Apparently that is sometimes required to bring up our little subscribe button and a couple of other videos that YouTube thinks you might enjoy.